Good morning and welcome to the NBA Daily. We're back live at Summer League. I'm Dave DuFour here with Andrew Schlecht, our good friend Keith Parish joining us for a little bit of draft podcasting. You know how we all like to have drafts on a podcast?
Yeah.
Andrew had the great idea that we could draft the bleakest futures for the teams that missed the playoffs last season. I think this is excellent. We're always too positive on this show.
Brightest futures first. Yes?
I thought we were doing bleakest future.
I can go either way.
Let's start with brightest future.
Let's do brightest future. Okay.
I mean, in honor of Summer League and the exciting young
future.
prospects,
Come
I
on,
thought we were talking about the brightest
Okay,
futures.
So next will be bleakest, but brightest futures for teams that missed the playoffs. I guess since I'm the host, I'll be the arbitrary decider of who goes first. Keith,
Yes.
the guest in the house, you get pick number one. I'll go last.
Okay.
How about that?
Yeah.
That is the entire concept. You think it should be easy?
Yes.
You just pick the best player who missed the playoffs, who's young, maybe.
This should be
the
very
number
simple.
one pick in this particular draft. Probably simple.
This should be very simple. We'll let you know if you're right or not.
I don't like simple things, but I would say, with the ample research that went into this, I would say the San Antonio Spurs
that's the
feel
right
like
answer.
they have a lot cooking right now.
It's the easy answer.
And with their combination of, obviously, anything you put beside Victor Wembanyama going forward might look amazing. We think it's probably going to. And so the young cast they have around them, also De'Aaron Fox there, a lot of cool stuff that they can build in San Antonio. Also the infrastructure of a place that's done it before. I feel like that's important.
Yeah.
Maybe the winning culture still lingers. And so, all right. First pick, give me San Antonio Spurs, brightest future.
They got a lot of guys. They have a lot of assets. They even have players who are like young but movable, which is interesting for them.
The always important movable contract. They have many of those movable contracts.
And let's not forget, they signed Luke Cornett. Great signing.
We have to talk about him every podcast.
Statistical darling.
Dylan Harper and Carter Bryant, I think those are both great selections for them. Like they just keep adding to this team. That's a no-brainer.
And everybody coming in can guard, right? Like it's not just these aren't one-way players. They don't have, we watched in the playoffs, it was about the weakest link.
Yeah.
Who's their weakest link going to be? I mean, it's going to be the young guys at first, but when they start hitting their stride, who's going to be the weak link defensively? I don't know that they're going to have one. And if they do, Victor Wembanyama's back there to clean it all up. So maybe it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they really don't have that. They just don't have shooting.
Right.
That's the thing they lack, but they'll figure it out.
Well, if they play Cornett and Wembanyama together, it's a lot of theoretical.
It's a whole lot of theoretical.
I guess maybe the only issue is there's not perfect clarity with the depth chart, especially thinking about like how does Dylan Harper play with De'Aaron Fox and what is Stephen Castle's role there, and so how's that all going to work out? And especially if you are missing that shooting with that team, maybe it's not going to be maybe with the enthusiasm for the future. If it gets off to a slow start next season, what do they feel like they have to do?
Were you on board with Spurs needed to maybe move De'Aaron Fox this summer and just go young?
I think there's a strong argument, despite the fact that they just acquired De'Aaron Fox when they got lucky in the lottery and have the option for Dylan Harper. It's like, well, maybe you could move that for maybe an even better fit, but I don't know. I mean, it seems like they have obviously had an interest in De'Aaron Fox and made that commitment to him. Actually, coming back to my hesitation to pick the Spurs, just never been a huge fan of the jerseys. And so I don't know if they would be open. I assume in this scenario, I'm running the team.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if they would be open to some kind of redesign.
Well, the Fiesta jerseys are great.
Lovely.
Right.
Absolute.
We need more color.
More of that. I can do more of that.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Andrew, you're up.
I think if we're drafting for the next 5 years, I think it's pretty easy to select the Dallas Mavericks.
Absolutely.
I also wonder, you're building a team around Cooper Flagg, and your best players are injury-prone guys in their 30s. I'm just I'm curious to see what it looks like on the other side of Anthony Davis is done, Kyrie Irving is done. What do the Mavericks do now? They have Cooper Flagg, which is a great, obviously an amazing building block. Mm-hmm. But you have to have way more than that.
100%.
And so I don't know. I think I like their next 3 years. Like, what happens when Kyrie is done or wants to go somewhere else? Or what happens when Anthony Davis can only play?
Is that your pick?
I think I am reluctantly taking the Mavericks.
Okay.
It feels like to me, Andrew, you're selecting Cooper Flagg.
Right.
I am selecting.
They have other very good players.
Yes. I'll take Coop.
Okay.
I think that's right.
And you're just cool with not drafting for a while? Like not using draft picks? Because you've sort of spent a lot of those building around another superstar who's no longer with the team.
Yeah.
A lot of resources went into building around that guy.
Yep.
So I don't know. You might be right. I mean, Cooper Flagg, very exciting player.
I mean, this is another team that maybe should have considered, I know we just made this big structural change not that long ago.
Yeah.
But we just landed the number one pick. I mean, Anthony Davis probably gets you some good young players and some draft assets right now from a from a team that's trying to win a title. Don't you think?
Apparently, it can get you Luka Doncic.
So,
right?
Maybe should they have picked it and started thinking about the future?
I absolutely would have, because him and Derek Lively, that's a great pairing.
Yeah, you start out with two rookies that can defend as your front court. That's crazy.
And the fact that we're hearing about a PJ Washington extension, I'm just perplexed by a lot of the other things that are happening.
That's starting shooting guard or starting point guard PJ Washington.
Right. Exactly.
Where in the backcourt is he playing?
Who are the guards? On
Day
this team?
one starter, I'm hearing Ryan Nimhard on the two-way.
Yeah,
I think we're hopeful there. No, D'Angelo Russell brought in, but with long-term questions.
D-Lo.
I mean, I know you have a very bright future with Kyrie returning from injury in many months. It's not. You didn't take the short-term answer. It's a long-term. You have 5 years bright future.
I'm taking the positivity of maybe the first 3 years of this team.
Okay.
Knowing that the last two could be pretty bad.
But. So you're pretty optimistic about this coming season?
I'm more optimistic about the next 3 years of the Mavericks. Yes, I think they'll be an interesting team. You don't think that?
I don't. I consider the Mavericks to be one of the more confusing teams in the NBA.
Yeah.
They are. I mean, they made the single worst trade in sports history,
and then got blessed for it.
Yes,
by being awarded by the lottery gods.
Division
with Cooper Flagg.
Yes.
I don't see how the pieces currently fit on that roster. And again, I would call them one of the more interesting teams this year.
I mean, Daniel Gafford is almost definitely getting moved.
You would think they would move him for a guard.
Right.
Of some sort, or a wing.
But who's the guard?
I don't know.
Who do they go get? Now, I think Gafford has a market. I think he's going to probably be pretty good for the next team that he's on.
Yep.
But he's on his way out. I mean, so there are going to be some more changes for them, but I also don't know who's going to dribble. For me, guys, with my pick, I think it's kind of easy. Portland, the Trailblazers. They're already pretty good. They're really too good to tank. They add Jrue Holiday, and if that works out and he plays for them, I mean, this is a really good player, a veteran that you can put out there with these young guys. I expect some growth from Denny Avdija. I'm just talking about this coming season.
Yeah.
Much less down the line. They get off of DeAndre Ayton, who it seems like was not had a positive impact on that locker room at all. And I got to say it, I've not watched very much of him, but the 6 minutes I saw of Hanson Young, I'm all in. I think you build around him right now.
That's right.
And I can see you look, first play of the game, they're running him off a pin down screen.
Yep.
Absurd. This is the first game he's ever played.
Can't hide that skill.
It is nuts. And so, we saw him throw some beautiful passes.
Yeah.
I'm all in. Scoot Henderson's growth, I think, is maybe gone under the radar a little bit, but you should know that they don't move Anthony Simons unless Scoot is ready to take on a bigger role. Although the Jrue Holiday thing kind of complicates that. But Drew's there short term. Maybe if they eventually move him, they get even more assets. I think that they've just done a good job of putting together a good young team. And that run that they went on last year, where we all kind of found them, right? I think that's who they are.
Yeah.
This is a team that I expect to be fighting for like a real shot at the play-in this year. And if everything went right for them, I think they could be like 7-8, not 9-10.
What do we do with the fact that they just don't start Scoot Henderson?
It's tricky because you should be starting him this year. But now you've got Jrue Holiday. I don't think that necessarily was on purpose.
He's a third pick in the draft.
Well, his first year was not good. The ankle issue that he had, he injured his ankle in summer league. That lingered for a little bit during the season that first year. And then year 2 is when he really, I thought, started to look good. He rounded the corner. He's not turnstile on defense. He's able to see the court a little bit better. This is the year that he's supposed to start. And so that's why I think this Jrue Holiday situation is it's tricky. Because I think for Portland, it's better for them to start Scoot. It's a little bit of a crutch if they keep Jrue and he's the starter.
It's frankly very weird.
Yeah.
If they can you imagine if the Grizzlies drafted a guy at 3 and in his third year he doesn't start?
What if his name was Hasheem Thabit?
Yeah.
I mean,
you know what I mean, though?
Draft pedigree certainly means something in an investment, but at some point, I think you can look at your player and say, like, we think it's best for your career. Maybe if you're coming off the bench behind Jrue Holiday, there's no shame coming off the bench behind Jrue Holiday. This is not we went and traded for another point guard or we even drafted a point guard.
Manu Ginobili came off the bench for his entire career.
I mean,
for a title contender, though, we're talking about the Blazers.
I don't see how it will hamper Scoot necessarily. If you're playing behind a good veteran, you're still going to get the reps. I also think about like the career of his coach, Chauncey Billups.
Yeah.
Chauncey Billups wasn't a great player until like 8 years into, I don't know what it is, like many years into his career where he became the all-star Chauncey Billups. And so, maybe people come along a little bit slower. I actually, unrelated to the whoever starts in the backcourt, I think Portland's interesting because like I took the Spurs, obviously because of Wemby and you think about the huge upside and a lot of other young players. And then Andrew with Cooper Flagg, and we think about how exciting Cooper Flagg is going to be. Portland finished the year really nice, showed signs of having a good defense, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now it's like, but who's their A-list star?
That's right. That's part of what I'm getting at.
Who's the guy who's going to win?
So Scoot's not the guy, then who's the guy?
It's not Shannon Sharp, and it's not.
It might be a team more like the Pacers where they have a lot of guys.
Why? All right. Why not Tumani Kumara, the next Pippen?
I don't think he's going to have the offensive game to do that, frankly. And also we got J-Dub, who is really like the modern Scottie Pippen.
I don't know if Nico Harrison would make this type of trade. But what if Cooper Flagg was traded to Portland? Because that's a great fit. It is a great fit. Maybe getting that superstar.
For Hanson Young?
That's too far.
You can't do it. You got to build around him.
That's a deal breaker.
All right, Keith, who's next?
All right, I'm back up. So I don't want to come across as this opinion being too bold.
Okay.
I'm looking at a lot of the teams that missed the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
I don't really want to be in their shoes.
No.
There's several teams that are obviously tanking up for the future.
Yeah.
There's several teams that are like, oh, let's trade for picks. Let's get rid of our veterans. We're taking this long route to hopefully be good once again. That's not appealing to me personally. Because, still we're talking about who's the brightest future. Also think about, who are your good players?
Right.
Do I have to go into the lottery the next 5 years, hope I get a good player?
Yeah.
I'd rather have a player that's already good. Now I'm looking at the other teams that aren't in this boat, and it's like, oh, you were trying to be good and it failed. Mm-hmm. And now you have very few picks. So it's very difficult now actually to pick a situation that I'm honestly that enthusiastic about, but I guess I will go with a team that's been purposely bad, some would say, in the Washington Wizards.
Oh, man, that's who I wanted. Okay. Talk to me about the Zards.
The Washington Wizards, I think, have actually, in almost a palatable way to me, who has a refined taste for not losing on purpose. They at least have cleared off their books and brought in a bunch of young talent in a way that didn't seem unseemly. And maybe that's a very objective call.
Right.
Or a subjective call, where it's like, they weren't trying to win a lot. I feel like they shut down Keyshawn George at the end of the year last year. You're like, that guy's young.
Yeah.
Why is he
He's hooping here in Vegas.
They have a lot of athletic young players.
Right.
Yeah.
They have the ability to those movable contracts.
Yeah.
They have a bunch of veterans currently right now, which makes them actually interesting. Like, what are they actually?
$95 million.
Yeah. What are you going to do with
contracts?
Chris Middleton and Marcus Smart and CJ McCollum? I mean, are those guys going to run a basketball camp for all their teammates, like this coming season? But I do think the Wizards are set up. And it's also theoretically, not in my lifetime have they been a dominant team, but it's a good market.
Yeah.
And it's like being there, it seems like they could build a winner. And so like they have a lot of options what they could do. There's no players where I'm like, I don't really like that guy. But basically because they're so new and unproven, maybe it's because I thus don't have a bad impression of any of them. But I'm like, man, Koulibaly's kind of cool, and Alex Sarr showed me some stuff, and like
they play defense.
Bub Carrington, all these guys hustle, athletic, strong players, and so I wouldn't mind taking over right now. I didn't have to live through any of the losing,
right?
So now let's start building that up and trying to compete a little bit.
Yeah, and I like Trey Johnson a lot.
Same. I think that again, watching this young guys at Summer League for that team, they pop.
Yeah.
Alex Sarr, I thought the end of the season last year really came on strong. His offensive games started to get more comfortable. And defensively, I do think that guy is going to be a monster.
Yeah.
Like a 3-block a game guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Andrew, you're up.
This gets tricky.
Yeah. How do you think I feel right now?
This gets really tricky. Despite them not having any big men to speak of, I think I'm going to take the Charlotte Hornets as a team that I think they just something's happening with Hansen Young.
Young just did something, and the fans
something
are
is
mad.
clearly happening with Hansen Young.
Okay,
that's the only reason anybody would be this upset. Charlotte Hornets, or maybe they're booing this pick. They're just like, how could you possibly choose the Charlotte Hornets?
Look, Knippel is good.
I like the direction they're going. I really think Brandon Miller is going to be awesome.
I do too.
He's got to stay healthy. He only played 27 games last year. I think that Knippel is going to be a good player. He's not had the best showing here in Vegas, but I think that he is going to get it together. I think he's going to be just fine. I just like having connecting players like that.
Yeah.
With Brandon Miller, with LaMelo. I know people are probably tired of LaMelo, but the fact is, for the Hornets, people show up to see LaMelo play.
Absolutely. Well, he's a very popular player.
He's outrageously popular. Yeah. Did you see people in the arena just screaming at him just so he would turn around and look at them?
The shoe I've seen the most today is the
100%.
LaMelo shoe. 100%. He is.
My oldest son
popular.
has like 3 or 4 pairs of LaMelos.
But popular doesn't win you basketball games. Like if LaMelo can be healthy, like if you can tell me he's going to be healthy,
yeah,
they're going to be much better than they were. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's got talent.
Yeah.
But is he going to be healthy and then also play like team basketball like a normal human being with the rest of his teammates? That's also the question.
Yeah.
Like, I love that this guy is so creative and willing to take 13 shots and miss all of them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That is good. It's a good thing. But got to find a way to rein this in and turn that into functional basketball play on the court.
How many times has he played 60 games in a season?
I would
guess 0.
I would guess once.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
What year was that?
That was his second year in the league, and he made the All-Star team.
There you go. Yeah, he needs to play. Him and Brandon Miller. I mean, this was the thing last year, right? Like the health issues, they were fun when those guys were on the court. They've got better players that they're going to add into the mix. I like that pick.
And I think they're okay with losing now. I think
Right.
that they pushed back on it, but it pushed them into this zone where they're picking later in the draft. And that made it tough. But now they got Brandon Miller. I think that's a great pick. I don't think that they have anybody that's going to get in the way of them losing in the next couple of years. And if you get lucky, then I think this team's really got something.
All right. For the last pick,
yes, Dan.
Guys, I will take the Philadelphia 76ers.
Ooh.
All right.
Okay.
They could theoretically win a title next year, right? Like, who knows? Yeah. The East is wide open. I'm going to do the thing that we all do, right?
Okay.
If Embiid is healthy, he is an MVP level player. Theoretically, we don't know.
Win the title,
well,
Dave.
Why couldn't they? They have talent. It's not like they don't have good players on this team.
This is a team that's never made it out of the second round.
I know.
I mean,
Do you feel that way too?
I just mean in a way that it's open. It's wide open.
It is wide open.
I feel like the Sixers, among all the teams we've talked about, probably have a better chance of winning a title
Oh,
in the next 5 years. Maybe you dream up the Spurs because we think Wemby is going to approach MVP levels of play in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
So maybe Wemby, maybe the Spurs. But, of course, there's a world where Embiid works out the Kawhi system where he doesn't play the first half of the season and he somehow figures out a way to be healthy for the playoffs. And if Paul George is okay, if Paul George can be Tobias Harris good,
now that's
too soon?
a lot to ask.
Too soon?
That's a lot to ask.
They have enough talent. I mean, their backcourt, they got so many. Yeah, I can envision it that
Jared McCain, VJ Edge.
And of course,
you know what I mean?
I think when we also talk about that, as Dave said, the East being wide open, that's a huge part of it. With the Celtics and the Pacers,
Hey, look, you said, can Paul George be good for them? Can Paul George get them other good players, actually? That's the thing that I've started to think about with Paul George. Like, his fit there is really weird now. They have so much guard ball handling that they don't really need the stuff that Paul George does. He's taken such a drastic step back defensively, and obviously the injury stuff.
Yeah.
So I wonder, is Paul George even on this team, really, for longer than half a season?
Who's taking PG?
Well, that's where you got to get on the phone with the Miami Heat and just, hey, here, we got this name that you know. Maybe we could get Andrew Wiggins.
I mean, he has a player option in 27-28 for $56 million.
That's so much money for Paul George. But even if Paul George, he's not Paul George that we know, but even if he could be 18, 7, and 4 or whatever, you know what I mean? More than he was for them last year, they're a better team. But it's all about Embiid. And then I love those young guards. I mean, Maxey, McCain, and Edgecombe, we'll see. But
I like those guys too. Yeah.
I just think that when you've got that much firepower and ball handling, gives you a shot. And then you've got Embiid there as this ultimate what if. He's a mystery box. And we've seen him be MVP. And the thing that has held him back has been physical. Both his own physical fitness and then the health stuff. So if he can get over those humps, that's a team that literally could win a title next year, much less 5 years from now. But they are also set up to be able to succeed if they want to pivot. Embiid is a guy I think that you can sell another team on. So if they wanted to do this thing where they try to reload a little bit, they've already got good young talent on the team and they could reset a little bit.
In 28-29, Joel Embiid has a player option for $67 million.
That's cheap though. By the time you get
rising
there.
cap, Andrew.
Yeah, that cap is going up 10% a year, right? That's nothing. It's nothing. But I think Philadelphia. Look, they had the year from hell last year. There's no way that they can have a year as bad as what they just had.
Yeah,
they are going to be better this year. Why not the Sixers? That's my pick.
Okay.
Yeah. Guys, if you're watching on YouTube or whatever, let us know in the comments who won the draft. I think I did, even though I was at a steep disadvantage on draft order. We'll be back with the bleakest future tomorrow. Bleakest or brightest tomorrow? Bleakest tomorrow. Thanks, Keith Parish, for hanging out. Thanks to Andrew Schlecht for, just being a guy. I'm Dave DuFour. This has been the NBA Daily. Thanks for waking up with us.